Is up, everybody? Let me see if I mess with this volume. I got about a halfway, a little bit of feedback, about a quarter echo. Check my volume. We'll go right there. Let's see what it is. We are going to look at some automotive gossip this morning. Definitely going to be looking at some automotive gossip. Looking at what some people are saying about the Ford boss. Well, I would just like to welcome you to the first Chicago Ford Boss Tech Talk, where we cover anything and everything that needs to be talked about. If anybody's interested in talking about anything, you want to call in, we can do call-ins and stuff as well. And you can get your questions asked over the air. And we're just going to dive into it. We're just going to get into automotive and tech and shop ownership and previous life kind of stuff. And we'll dive into it from there, basically. I'm your host, Ford Boss, and this is episode 1. In the automotive industry, we typically have people that either they take it on the chin and they run with it, and they learn the best that they possibly can, and hey, if my sound is good, let me know if my sound is good or not. I've got a new setup going on. I've actually got a professional mic and stuff now hooked up through the phone, and if the volume needs to go up some, I can turn the volume up some. It just all depends. If the echo needs to turn down, I can turn the echo down. So I just need your guys' help on actually getting this set up. So here, like a quarter, check. There's halfway, check. Should I go back down, back to a quarter? It was just a little bit over a quarter right there. Or should we just keep it right at halfway? Half is good. So, I like to cover things in the automotive industry, topics that people don't typically want to talk about, but I also talk about what's going on in my life and what affects me. That's why most of you are here. So if I want to talk about it, most of you support me in talking about it. Sometimes it's drama, sometimes it's not, but unfortunately drama sells. Good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. And like I said, welcome to episode 1 of our Ford Boss Chicago Tech Talk. It's something I'm going to be doing in the morning. I'm going to be leaving earlier to get to work. And it's going to be more of a wake up, have your coffee, let's talk. If you guys want to call in, you can call in. I'll give you the number here to the shop. It's public anyway. You want to ask some questions, everybody will hear what's going on. Kind of a morning show where we can all talk about some stuff. But the first order of business today is we're going to talk about the gossip right off the hit, the drama right off the hit. And there's a site online. Most of you know it's called Bob is the Oil Guy. It's probably the largest site for a community forum of people that get together and talk about oil. It's a great site for general information. But there are some people, just like on the Ford Tech forums on YouTube and stuff like that, where people get jealous. They just get jelly and they don't like the success of somebody else. Or they don't like being shut down because they were being mean or using certain words that trigger accounts being deleted and stuff on here. And there were some choice people in this group here because they don't like the fact that I said that there are a lot of clowns in this Bob is the Oil group. There's a lot of guys here that just like drama. They just like to talk about drama and get people spun up for no reason. There's a gentleman on here. His name is O3S. September 21st, 2008 is when he joined the site. So he's been there for quite a while. He's kind of a senior to the site. And he says, found a tour of Blackstone Labs on Ford Boss Me YouTube channel. 5 parts, part 1 through 5. Owen Lucas liked it. He liked the fact that it was posted, part 1 through 5. Been there, done that, enjoyed the videos. As it's been over a decade since I've been there, not much has changed. So D Newton 3 didn't have anything bad to say. He says he's labeled as a staff member. Probably why he didn't say anything bad. Didn't want to get pulled into anything. A lot of people commenting on things in the workplace, like passcodes on sticky notes and stuff like that. I never understood why people really commented on stuff like that to begin with. Remember, the more you guys like the video, the more you give it a thumbs up. This might be something juicy that it's entertaining to you, or maybe you just don't like it at all. But if you support the channel, giving it a thumbs up actually helps the video get out there further. Some people like this guy, Hymen Systems, passwords on sticky notes on the monitors, just like other workplaces. LOL. Yeah, I mean, it'll happen. We've got them all over the place here. But for you to find the system that the passwords go to, for you to find the systems that we would use to log into that, it would be very difficult. It's not going to be the same password is typically not used for everything, or maybe it would be very easy for you, but it is what it is. And most of the time, passwords are changed bi-weekly or monthly anyway, so it's not really that big a deal. This guy here, Pablo, says, I had not seen those. Thanks for posting. I will digest over the next week. Thanks. Side note, I spent a summer in Fort Wayne, Indiana, working in a chemistry lab. Inland Specialty Chemical, I'm guessing here around 1983 or 1984. I was in my early 20s, first real human living. Dang, that was something. Man, I'm old. Well, that seems like an interesting life to live back at such an early age, right? Talk about real responsibility. Talk about actually having to wake up and pull your boots up and do a really hard job that takes some thinking and stuff. So commend you on that. And then this guy here says, Diesel Power. I've been a member since February 22nd, 2009. He's left 265 messages on the webpage. Unsubscribed from that idiot. This is what he says about me. Unsubscribed from that idiot. Found him through Rain Man Ray's YouTube channel, which is awesome. He's worse than the Facebook fact checkers. Why? Because I like concise, precise information. And I find that a lot of people on this Bob is the Oil Guy site do not talk about precise, concise information. They talk about opinion-based stuff. They don't actually talk about what is tested and this and that. It's more of their anecdotal evidence, which is not bad evidence. It's still evidence. It's still data that can be used to surmise, or it can be used to come up with a conclusion to something, right? But it's not evidence. It's not the stuff that I talk about, like using it in the field every single day, shop owner, business owner, previous tech, where I get to see these vehicles over and over and over again. Maybe it's more of an extreme version of anecdotal, but it's still quality evidence versus one person that gets to change the oil in his vehicle over and over again. I mean, I'll pass. Deletes comments that disagree with his content and don't fit his agenda. Actually, I don't do that. If it's clean and you don't agree with me, I leave it up. I don't even take it down if it's clean. Now, if you're an asshat about it and you're saying a bunch of derogatory things, or you could get me banned based on the things that you're saying, yes, they get removed. And you guys also have to understand here, I'm not the only one on this channel that can moderate. I trust my moderators on this channel 100%. If they see something that they don't think is going to benefit the channel or could actually take away from the channel, they have full reign to remove the person or the comment on however they feel. That's business. That's people looking out for me that I've put in place that I know have my best interest in mind. And I don't tell them how to run their stuff. Actually, whenever they come to me and they ask me questions about what they should do, I tell them exactly this every single time. And there are a couple of them on here right now. And I tell them the same thing every time. Use your best discretion. I trust you. Do what you think you need to do. I trust you. That's how much I trust you. I don't want to tell you what to do. I trust the fact that you know what you're doing. And you know what should be there and shouldn't be there. I don't have to micromanage that. I'm just blessed that they're here on this channel willing to help me do those things. So just because something is deleted or removed doesn't mean it's me that's doing it. It could be one of them that don't like what was put out because it could be taking away from the overall growth of the channel. I mean, let's be men here. If you can't get a question across without using some kind of belittling comment or some kind of derogatory comment that goes along with it, then really do you need to be commenting on anything? If you wouldn't come physically say something to another man nose to nose, why would you say it? I mean, so Diesel Power, you got to do better, man. I mean, great name, though. Powerful name. Such a whiny person in the comment section. Deleted my comment, says there's a bunch of idiots on Bob is the Oil Guy. And there is. There are a bunch of idiots on that site. And it's like a little cesspool of like drama boys that all want to get together, just like the Ford Tech forum on Facebook. that they're jealous. They see somebody else that's made it. They see somebody else that's out there. They're grinding. They're doing their thing. And they want to talk bad about whatever they can. And they think that they're actually going to be successful in wasting some kind of amount of time to actually... Bad PR is good PR. So thanks for putting my name out there, boys. Thanks for actually getting my name out there further and further and further. So other people, when they go search my name or they search me, you're putting me out there. You're putting me on the map even more. So I appreciate that. That works out for me real good. This guy here has been a member on the Bobby's the Oil Guy site for April 12th, 2012. He's left 1,317 messages. He's from Michigan. Thanks for the comment. Just wow. Bring up something scientific and a solid question about the fuel dilution measurement issue and deletes your comment. No need to support someone who can't face the truth. Just shows their lack of knowledge. What are you talking about? Fuel dilution is one of the most critical things that I talk about here on this channel. I have from the beginning. I have always talked about fuel dilution. I have said it's one of the main reasons why you can't go more than 4,000 or 5,000 miles typically on oil changes, even though the oil is still good. The fuel dilution is high. No need to support someone who can't face the truth. What truth am I trying to face? What are you trying to provide to me that I can't face? I've been through adversity that you've never seen in your entire life. I can almost guarantee that. I've been through things in my life that you'll probably go to your grave never seeing. Try spending 15 months in a war zone, watching people die in front of you. Try being beat and abused and locked in rooms for days on end. Scars all over your body and stuff like that. 9 different foster homes. $4.5 million worth of cocaine, testifying in front of people that you thought were your parents that have this stuff. You think there's anything that you can say on here that I can't face? I'm as open as they come. There's nothing about me that's private. Nothing. What is this? What do you think you're proving by talking bad about me on a forum somewhere in your little safe space, knowing that eventually I'm going to find it, I'm going to get there, and you might be the subject of something that's brought up? That's exactly what this is. No need to support someone who can't face the truth. Buddy, I face the truth every day. When I open my eyes and I take that breath and I realize that I'm alive and my feet hit the ground, the truth is God gave me another day to be here. And I can live that however I choose to do it. Either I choose to try to make it as positive as possible and educating as possible and move forward from there and grow from there, or I just try to focus on all the negative stuff and let people like you really get to me. This is funny, man. I find this like really funny. Anyway, as they say something about needing an accurate measurement, they at Blackstone could be seeing a lower number of customers invite someone to boost sales. They didn't invite me. I was passing through Indiana and I thought it would be a good idea, and I called them up and I actually asked them if I could tour because people were asking me to tour the facility. They'd like to see what it looks like inside. And that's what I did. They didn't invite me, and I was very clear about that. So I don't know where this comes across as there was some drop in information here, maybe lack of understanding information. But anyway, I don't get people that they just say stuff and they don't even know what they're talking about. And again, the guy's name is Researcher, and he's from Michigan. He's been on the group since April 12th, 2012, and he's left 1,317 messages. Guy must have a lot to say. And this guy here, Junior Hawk 9, joined the site April 12th, 2003. Wow, a veteran. Only left 331 messages. He's from Lake Dalton, Wisconsin. I too stopped watching his videos. He's a fish out of water with oil-related stuff, in my opinion. It's interesting looking at these comments and stuff, and it's hysterical because I have walls of oil, and I run a repair facility. Most of these people don't even come close to doing anything that I've done in my life when it comes to mechanical or fixing cars. Almost none of them. It's comical the things that they would say. They actually feel good about themselves when they say these things. Actually feel good about themselves, which is sad because they will never have the mechanical aptitude that I have, and they're never going to be anything close to where I'm at in my life. And most of them are probably extremely jealous. It's pretty sad. This guy here, watch his oil cold flow testing if you want a good laugh. And then the guy underneath him, Diesel Power. Yeah, not even close to Project Farm's. Let's see how Project Farm did his cold flow testing. He took it out of the freezer and he dumped it into a trough that would travel at a certain speed and then fall off the end into a container. I took it out of the freezer and I put it in restricted containers with a tapered nozzle, and I pulled the caps and I watched the cold flow happen and timed it. I'm simulating something more of what's going on in an engine than dumping it into a trough and then right into an open container. I'm actually showing more of the type of restriction that you would see in an engine during a cold flow simulation. So how's that not even close to project farms? I don't get it. I don't get it with some of the people. These people are, it's ridiculous stuff. And again, men that have other men's name in their mouth because they feel inferior about themselves or have nothing better to talk about. Keep boosting me up, fellas. Keep pushing me out there, promoting me. This guy here, Pablo, site sponsor, AMSOIL. Well, thanks for saving me the time. Guess I won't watch them. Pablo, seriously, if you have to go based on what other people say, if you have to go based off, and this dude has left 55,711 messages, and he's been on the site since October 28, 2002. You're a senior guy here on this site. You've got some tenure behind you. You've got some grit, some base to you here. You've been here for quite a while. You really need to look to other newer members in this site to figure out whether or not you need to save time. You couldn't actually click on the videos and say, oh, wow, this is like a nice tour. They're talking about a lot of good open, like I understand other people may not like the guy or whatever, but I kind of like it. I think this is entertaining. So based off what your other fanboys, your other girlfriends, your other knee pad warriors and stuff have been saying, this is what, I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. And then here, slow car sport mode. I know who this guy is. This is the interesting part about all this, and you guys know who he is as well. He posts this on March 16th, 2023 of this year. Slow car sport mode. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for these observations about me. Remember, hit the like, hit the thumbs up, guys. It helps get the video out there. Full disclosure, I've met Mr. Ford Boss. I partook in his channel. Got to visit him at work. Yes, I was invited. No, you were not invited. There was a filter cut open video, as mentioned. It has been since deleted, since if you say it's not in agreement with his thicker oil is better than people on the the oil board, we're all wrong. Starts out as 5 and warms up to 30. So this dude was a guy that was a subscriber on the channel, and he was like from Indiana or something like that. This guy said that one day he would want to come by the dealership or whatever. And I was working late. I didn't know this guy was going to show up. I think his name is Kirby or something like that. Some weird geeky name, right? And he's kind of a loner, has a lot of things to say, a lot of yap, 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 yap. And he wants to talk very fast and very quick so he can feel very important. And I had to shut that down in our conversation because he was always trying to run me over in conversation. I noticed that was a kind of a hitch of his right away. You know how you can notice those things whenever you start talking to people? There's a lot of people from this area that randomly show up here and talk to me, and we talk like we're best friends. Well, this guy shows up. It's like, I don't know, 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. It's already starting to get dark out. He's got his Subaru outside. The thing's running like shit. Sounds like a can of marbles out there. He's complaining about how rough it is, but it's still a really good car at the same time. And we cut open a filter. And there were some things that he said in it that were not accurate at all. He was talking as if he was regurgitating information from the site. Bob is the oil guy. Some of the things that he was saying didn't jive with my direction on the channel. The more I thought about it, the more I seen some of the things that he was explaining when we talked about this oil, cutting open this oil filter. I was like, dude, that's kind of misleading. The more I think about it, the more if I leave that video up there, the things that you said in our live chat, the more people are going to get the wrong information from you, and that's not something I support. I don't support that. I support real, concise, true information. That's not something I support. You said some untrue stuff in there that I kind of went back and I caught because we were like in the moment of shooting the video and stuff. I just let it go. And then when I went back and actually looked at it, I was like, that's not something that I support on this channel. So yeah, I took the video down. I took it down because it was bad information. And this here, thicker oil is better. And the people on Bob is the oil guy, the oil board are wrong, and oil starts out as a 5 and warms up to a 30. I believe this is how his channel rolls. Okay, so 5, winter, 30. It has a friction modifier in it, or I mean, it's sorry, not friction modifier. It has a viscosity index improver in it, and some of it reacts with heat, some of it reacts with actual the oil moving and tension and how the chemistry of the oil and stuff is built, and it actually grows to be like the likeness of a 5W30 weight. That's in essence 5W30, 5 winter 30. That's how it's designed to operate. Then you deleted the comments, and again, the comments I read there here are spot on. So this guy says the comments that he reads on Bob is the Oil Guy, those comments are spot on. Those guys can do no wrong. They're just the smartest guys in the world. None of them are wrong. They're all just really honest Christians, Catholics, or whatever, and they would never do anything wrong. Again, va. I meet this guy. He's a whack job. From the beginning, I knew something was wrong with this guy. And you know what? Just to be fair, let's even just clear out the rest of talking about this message that's here. This guy would text me comments about other YouTubers and stuff that he didn't like. He would complain about other YouTubers. He would tell me he's lent money to other YouTubers and stuff and that they're not paying him back. And he drove hours away to see them and they didn't make time for him. And it was nothing but like a complaint board with this guy. Through the emails, through the messages, through everything. All he did was complain. And I got to a point where I had to actually just tell this dude like straight up, I don't have time for this, man. I don't have time to keep talking to you about all the negative things that you got to say about other YouTubers that you support and people that you're sending money. You don't send me money. I don't ask anything from you. Actually, I've done more for you than you've done for me. So why am I listening to this? Like, that's all you do. I don't even want to have anything to do with you anymore. There are people on here that get really wild, dude. They get really personal. They get really possessive of you. They want your time. They want your space and stuff like that. And they don't understand what boundaries are. And this dude was one of them. He wanted to leave his job where he was at in New York, travel all the way out to Illinois, stop in Indiana on the way back, try to get some job at a Toyota factory and make it in a 1-bedroom, like whatever, basement apartment, and he had nothing to his name, which I understand, and he was still giving other people money. The whole story don't line up. It don't sound straight to me. There was a lot of stuff that was being tall tale story told, and this person's the devil and that person's the devil, and I finally got to a point where it's like, dude, I don't want to hear this. Hey, hello, you all troll killer. But anyway, it's one of those situations where I'm like listening to this guy talk and complain about stuff all the time. I'm like, you know, I don't even want to be a part of your life, man. You know, it's one of those things where you just have to get to a point where you start cutting these people off on the internet saying, dude, you're a whack job, man. I want nothing to do with you. Like, I understand that's your personality and stuff like that, and that I want nothing to do with you. You already harassed me enough and told me enough drama and stuff and taken up enough of my time that I'm never going to get back and been so weird in the process of it. I want nothing to do with you. Anyway, a lot of chatty Cathy stuff on here. And then here we go back to him again. Slow sport car mode. Rain Man is cool. Doody-doo, and all that. The phone ringing at his previous employment will be missed. I made a choice not to watch his channel after he left his previous place of employment. Although I hear he's doing good, and that some people still enjoy his videos. Full disclosure, I am a YouTuber as well. Yeah, you have like 20 followers, dude. Nobody knows who you are. Mentioning ends here. Moving on, my channel will never be like Ford Bosses or Mr. Subaru 1387s. There are several channels we could... Yeah, because you're not ever making content. You're not ever putting quality content into anything. You have like a dollar store phone. You're shooting it from your windowsill in your basement apartment. It's hazy, like it's got grease and stuff on it all the time, and you don't have any substance to talk about. It's a long story short. Yeah, you're right. I mean, and then here you are talking about Rain Man Ray on here. Long story short, if the hurricane had never happened and if he remained as his former place of employment, you would have seen my car given a service as well as the services one of his videos. This, of course, never came to fruition, but Rain Man, I feel like he did better work when he was at his previous place of employment. Some say there is an increase in the hack methods he uses now. I don't know anything about that, but seemed like he was a good tech. What are you talking about? I've never even heard anybody say anything like that about him. Ray is probably one of the most thorough, clean guys when it comes to work that I've seen. And I've never seen him do any kind of hack work on a customer's car. It's always been, if I don't fix it right, I'm not working on it. That's his motto. He does quality work. I don't understand where you're getting this stuff from. Again, stuff that people are talking about behind, guys like us that are grinding it out, that are trying to live our life and stuff like that, that obviously want to be a disruption in our life. They have nothing to say. Maybe a thread in general about YouTube channels we have stopped watching and why. See, and again, a gossiper, somebody, why are you even reading this stuff? Sounds like a comedy forum. Because I can, that's why. Don't question me on why I'm doing something. I'm doing it because that's the show this morning. You're watching the show because you're watching the show. And here, he knows everything, and that's why that's the way it is. Well, I mean, I've lived my life enough to do enough in my life to where I'm not stupid. And if I say something is fact, 99.9% of the time it's fact. I've been wrong. I've been proved wrong. But I've lived a lot of my life early on to where, there's a lot of stuff that I can sniff out that's bullshit right away. That's why. Where? Sorry, I apologize, Porch Monkey. Bob is the oil guy thread. Just type up Ford Boss Me, Bob is the oil guy, and you'll see it. So you could clearly see the tack when he was cruising at 55 RPM. He said something about 273s versus 373s. Shut the fuck up. Swamp Survivor. This guy has been on here since April 9th, 2008. 16,354 messages. Central New York has a lot to say. Makes sense from Central New York. But this is like, I got into this guy says 3800 series. He's been a member since August 2nd, 2014. 1,511 messages from Gulf Coast. I got into a disagreement with him over motor flushes. Said that heat and chemicals is what turns the oil dark, not any cleaning. How many times have I told you guys that? The oil that you put in your car really doesn't do any additional cleaning. It literally doesn't. It keeps things from getting worse, but it doesn't clean what's already there. You would have to have a really, really, really high amount of PAO base, which is group 4, to really do any kind of cleaning, and then it would really be more like an ester that would do the real cleaning. And there's no oils on the market that have high PAO or high ester. That's literally what I say to everybody all the time here. I don't understand what the disagreement over motor flushes. Said heat and chemicals is what turns. We know that. We know that's what turns oil black. Why do I have to agree with you if it's something that I already know? And later during a BG video, he stated, detergents clean motors, mentioned not the case, and went off on me. Detergents don't clean motors. Detergents and dispersants stop the motors from getting worse. They don't go in there like scrubbing bubbles and clean everything. This is a slogan that I've had on this channel forever. Detergents and dispersants are not like scrubbing bubbles. They don't go in your engine and just automatically start attacking the engine walls, start cleaning everything. Where this guy's coming up with this stuff, I have no clue. And if I did say something like that, maybe I was in a spur of the moment or something, and it's just something that, whatever. I know that. But is it worth talking about in a gossip session with a bunch of chatty Cathys on Bob is the oil guy? He spent thousands on UOAs, and he knows what he's talking about. Basically saying, I'm completely wrong, have no clue what I talk about, and that I'm misinforming people. Probably is true. You probably are. You probably don't know what you're talking about, and you have to be in an oil forum to know whether or not you're right. You have to have some kind of gratification from other people supporting the morning coffee session with the ladies. Dude can say what he wants, but when you talk from a point of authority, try to verify what you tell others. What authority? Bob is the oil guy is not the authority. You being a commenter on Bob is the oil guy is no authority. I don't understand how people think that because they're on this site, they are this like, they've got this status to themselves that because they're a member on Bob is the oil guy, that they're now this ultimate like entry-level professional that can tell other people about how all these products are and that they're just supposed to look because it's Bob is the oil guy. That's like people saying Scotty Kilmer honestly knows how to work on new modern vehicles. It's a joke. It's laughable. They have no training, no nothing at all. Maybe there's a few guys on there that are pretty good. I'm sure that the basis to the group, the guys are really smart. But the majority of people on there that are in these discussions like this, if it was me and I was on this site, it's about oil. It's not about Ford Boss and what people don't like about him. This is clearly what they let on this site. If it was me and it was supposed to be an educational about oil type thing, this shit wouldn't even be on here. I would have been like, hey, thanks for the 5-part video or whatever that will help somebody that comes along and wants to do like a virtual tour through Blackstone Labs. But all this other stuff is unnecessary. If you don't like the guy, you don't like the guy. Move on about your business. But having like the ladies talk in the morning where there's this gratification put in the comment section, which you're never going to meet these people in real life. These people never do anything for you. They wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. And you think it's worth putting this much effort into? Anyhow. So that's the gossip I ran across this morning, which is pretty sad when you think about it. Again, if you guys are just tuning in, this is our first episode where we're actually doing like a podcast live, where I'm the host and we're just talking about stuff in the automotive industry, talking about drama, whatever it is. You guys want to call in, somebody has a question or something like that, I put you on speakerphone and everybody here can hear it at the same time, no matter what it is. You want to call in and tell me to flip off, whatever, that's fine too. It's accepted. Whatever you want to do, we can do that multiple different ways. If you need advice on something and you want to call in, you can do that. This is just now a new morning podcast live stream that we're going to be doing, where we're going to move here forward, trying to put more time and effort into the channel to build it. And I'm your host, Ford Boss Me. So, how's the audio? The audio better than it normally is with this now more professional type mic? Anybody got any questions on here? I think there was one about a Fusion or something like that. Hey, mate, just a question about a 1.5 liter EcoBoost on a 2015 Focus SLZ. Does it have the coolant groove in the block? I don't know. We don't have, here in the United States, we don't have 1.5 liter EcoBoost in the Focus. So you must be overseas, and we don't have that here. And I would assume, yes, it does, because they wouldn't redesign that model just for your vehicle. And the coolant intrusion can happen at other years as well, all the way down to 15. So, sorry, man. Porch Monkey, I took you. I guess I took what you were saying the wrong way. You know how I am, man. I call it like it is, and I apologize. I didn't see that you said where. So, I'll see you later, man. When you come in. The audio is great. It was a little too low in the past. Yeah, I know. I've got everything turned up now. I mean, there's like an echo setting and stuff where you can actually turn it up even more. It's set up on half volume right now in a quarter echo. I can turn the echo down some. I don't know if you guys would give me feedback on that, because we only messed with the volume earlier. This is the echo turned down all the way. It's down all the way right now, and then this is like maybe not even a quarter. This echo right here, echo. And then this is like halfway, and then you get a lot of feedback, I think. It'll start echoing real bad. So I put it back down to about a quarter right now is where I was messing with it, just because it enhances the voice a little bit. If that's okay, then we'll just leave it there and we won't touch it. It's up to you guys on how you want it. You guys got to listen to it, not me. Well, I'll listen to it afterwards, but any questions? Good morning, good morning, good morning. You guys got any questions? You want to talk about anything in particular? We got a busy day in the shop. We have a Savannah van out there that got a 4.8 liter swap from bought a van with no title. They had a good engine and transmission, swapped it over to the van that we did have a title and stuff with, put the engine and transmission in that, and now we're going to get rid of the junk engine and transmission from the other one. So that's underway. That's finishing up this morning. We are doing a very expensive job on a 17 Jaguar XJL or something like that with that 3.0 liter supercharged engine. Passenger side valve cover likes to leak on them, and the purge valve assembly will actually start leaking out of the upper cap, and you'll think that you figured it out and you'll replace something or a hose or whatever it is, and it's not. It's actually it's actually not the purge valve. It's the PCV that's built into the upper passenger side valve cover. It actually leaks through the center of the cap that's molded into the valve cover. So to do that job, the supercharger is going to come out, fuel line's got to come out, fuel injector's got to come off of it, valve cover's got to be pulled off, and all new stuff put in. That's like a 10.5 hour job or 10.9 hour job right there. And that's actually the time that the warranty company gave us because they said we were charging too little. So they actually, it's a warranty company called Z-Care, Z/Care, C-A-R-E. They were working with us yesterday, and I had to clear up some clerical stuff and some things that were not put on the repair order. Like I was looking over it, because remember, I've been gone a week. I've been at SEMA. So I was going over the repair order, and I noticed some things were missing on the repair order that were supposed to be paid for by the warranty company, like the valve cover gaskets, the fuel injector Teflon seals. They have to be replaced as well. And then there is, on the updated valve cover, instead of the nipple being really long off the back of it, it's shortened on the updated one, so you got to get this little stub extension. It's like an update for it. They won't pay for molded hoses. So that's the $30 the customer has to eat with their $100 deductible, but the warranty companies ended up, they're paying like $3,000 some odd dollars for this job. So it's a very honest warranty company. They've worked with me from the entire process. Good morning. So they ended up hooking us up on that, getting all the repairs and stuff approved, and we finished the job on a excuse me, sorry, that was gross, but gotta clear it. We finished the job up on a Jeep Grand Cherokee with a 3.6 Pentastar. It had 62,000 miles on the used engine. And we installed the used engine, and it sounded like the timing was off. The cadence when it would hit. When I left, we hadn't had the job done, but I had called the company up and I said, I need a new engine. Something's wrong with the engine you guys sent us. The used engine with 62,000 miles looks extremely clean, but something ain't right. Whenever you go to try to start it, instead of it doing the having a nice cadence to it, it would and it would just be all over the place, and it sounded like the timing was just off on the thing. And even with the vehicle up at top dead center, you can look through the phaser, the front of the magnetic little control sensor thing on the front of those Pentastars, and pull it off, and the lines would line up fine, but the engine just sounded like shit. And we ended up having to get another engine, but unfortunately the other engine had 90,000 miles, or 90,000 or 100,000 on it, and that one we put in, and it started right away. So something was definitely wrong with that lower mileage engine, and they said it ran for 8 minutes before they pulled it from the vehicle to install it, or to keep it in the warehouse to be sold. So that's fixed. That's outside. We've got to put the hood on that, and it needs to go today. We did a job on a Hyundai Genesis 3.8 liter. The guy's engine went at 120,000 miles. He'd been doing 8,000 mile oil changes, and eventually what ended up happening is that's too much on that vehicle. So it started chewing up certain material and stuff in the engine, and the oil started looking like glitter. So we ended up getting an engine for that, put it in. About 3 months later, the engine's making noise like rattling on startup. And realized that we're going to have to get back into the timing components on that. It's probably a VCT solenoid or phaser or tensioner or something like that. So they had to send us another engine, and we got that done, engine installed, and it's running good now. But we're worried that there was a lot of carbon buildup on the valves, so we need to sell that cleaning to get the valves, the walnut cleaning, to get those cleaned up real good. I think we might try to squeeze that in sometime today. What else was it? We got another job. Oh, we got a Transit Connect back there. Guy got into an accident. A bunch of stuff banged up in the front corner. Wouldn't start. Found the PCM connector was unplugged back behind the wheel well area, or like we're behind the lights and stuff. The PCM is tucked down in the corner. Down there, it was PCM was unplugged. Plugged the PCM up and started the vehicle. The vehicle was running fine, but it's got a charging light on, and it'll charge between 13.7 and 14.4, 14.5 volts. And it has listed that it's a one-wire controlled alternator in the computer, but it's not. It's actually got 3 wires going to it. So I have to sometime today check the general monitor and the generator monitor and the generator command, and jump those 2 circuits together and turn the key cycle on and watch them ramp up and then come back down and stabilize. And if I can see them mimic each other when I'm looking at the data for control and monitor, then I know my wires are good and I know my PCM is good. I've got an alternator problem, but I just got to make time to go out there and do that. Good morning, Bald Mechanic, hard at hearing. How can you hear me now with the new mic? I know you've said stuff about the volume before. We've got a new mic and we're trying it out, and I think it seems to be working pretty good. I'm trying not to be right up on top of it. So, trying some different stuff out, invested more money in the channel and stuff like that. And I have a new company logo now. I had professionally created. Also, at the same time, I am working on merch for the channel. I have a company right now. It's called Ag Hats, AG Hats. I actually had them give me some Richardson snapbacks, like some real high quality ones. And he's actually, I'm gonna give the first 10 hats away. It cost me $220 for them. So if people want to, I'm gonna give the hats away. But if people want to donate to paying for the hats, I'm not going to say no, especially because the old lady ain't working her job right now and it's just me. Even though we're good, it's always welcome. But I got 10 hats, and I told them I want my logo leather stitched into the front of the hat, and I want really, really high quality hats made. And I'm going to give those 10 hats away I'm going to let my daughter pick who gets them. But it has the Ford Boss beard on a leather patch, and it's kind of laser etched and burned into the leather and then stitched into the hat. So I have 10 of them coming. And then I ordered some new work shirts that actually have the new logo and stuff on them. I ordered them this morning, and we're going to see what those polos and work shirts look like. So I can come to work more professional and not stuff like this. You know, I'm going to come to work in actual like dress shoes, dress pants, polo, and come here to just slay it. You know, trying to make a change in how I do things. I'm not necessarily just a mechanic anymore, so I have to start thinking about how I am going to continue doing business in the future. I'm more of a businessman now, and I run the shop, so I got to start acting like that as well. So I'm trying to change a lot of stuff about myself and the way I approach situations and people and just doing business. I'm still myself, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to be the same old grumpy Ford boss at times, but that's just me. Dave, good morning. Audio is perfect. I appreciate it. Perfect. So that's some updates going on right now, and I am back on the transmission for the Grand Marquis. I went out there today a little bit. I got to go back to my original video and see when I was pulling the front pump out, because when you look at a 4R70W versus a 4R75E, when you put the last set of clutch packs and stuff in, they're a little bit different in the 4R70W versus the 4R75E, and I have the 4R75E. So I got to go back to my video when I was tearing it apart and just try to get a little bit of an idea on when I was pulling the pump out of it. The first clutch pack that I pulled out, it's got a spring plate. It's got a series of springs, and then the clutches sit down on top of that. I forgot how that goes back in there, and I don't want to put it in there the wrong way. So I got to figure that out. That's my hang up right now on the transmission. I'm to the end of it, ready to put the pump in, and then I'll start building the valve body with like the zip kit and making the modifications and the J-mod stuff and all that other crap that people talk about, do all the good stuff. So yeah, that's it. That's kind of the update. That's what's going on right now. We're doing good at home. The missus, she's not getting too depressed and stuff with the whole job loss thing as much anymore. She knows I got her back. She knows no matter what, I'm going to be there for her and supporting her 100% of the way. I think she is going to move into more counseling stuff because she's really good at that. And she's going to focus more at the house with our daughter and stuff. And she's going to take a little bit of time, kind of figure out what she wants to do, just kind of reset, live life a little bit. I want her to go get out. I want her to go out to eat with her girlfriends more. I want her to go live life and not have to worry. So we're okay. I just re-engage the channel a little bit differently, start putting more time into the channel, start putting out better quality videos and stuff, longer, more in-depth videos, explaining things more. And yeah, I took the next step to do that, and I ordered a bunch of equipment and stuff, like a professional recording stand and the studio mic, and actually Bluetooth connections when I can't use the mic to the phone. I was using it a little bit last night. It sounded pretty good, but they have like the wind filter and stuff that you can put on it and stuff like that. So Some changes definitely coming, and there's going to be more podcasting type stuff going on. So if you guys want to, you probably end up finding me on like Apple Podcasts or whatever it is, the podcasting forums and stuff. I'm going to start getting more involved in actually interviewing other technicians and shops and just being more a part of the community in a different kind of way, less controversial, trying to put some of the controversy behind me and move forward. You know, it's the only way you can kind of grow. Is you got to make an effort to do it. I just thought that was funny this morning when I run across that Bob is the oil guy stuff, and then especially the one guy that talks like he knows me. But I mean, there's so many. I could dump the emails on this guy. I could dump everything, the personal information. It's just people. It just amazes me, man, that people want to run their mouth thinking that it'll never make it back to the person that they're running their mouth on, and like all the information that's out there that could be used against them, and they just feel safe in their safe space. And Bob is the oil guy. I mean, it would suck if somebody came across specific information and then all of a sudden somebody didn't have a job, or they didn't, somebody found out where they lived or something like that. And, I would hate that, I wouldn't want stuff like that to happen. I mean, everybody knows where I work and live. I'm the boss here. I mean, I co-owner of the place. I've already had people leaving negative reviews on the website and stuff like that. 99.9% of them get pulled down anyway. So it's business. You got to expect it when you're doing social media stuff while you're doing business. It's going to happen. It is what it is. Most of the people that are here, they really support me, and I had a couple guys yesterday come by, and I still got their vehicles now. 3 guys actually came by yesterday, all from the YouTube channel. That one of them wasn't a subscriber until he met me, and then he became a subscriber. And then he just been watching my videos for a while. And then the other 2 were subscribers on the channel, and they needed some work done, clean work, obviously. One guy came by the Grand Cherokee, said his parking brake was kind of failing and didn't really like how it was applying. So I charged him an hour, pulled the brakes apart and the stuff in the rear, cleaned everything real good, readjusted it, got the parking brake up real nice and firm. It still had like 90% pad life left all the way around. Plus the parking brakes had like, I want to say like 70-80% pad life left. So I was like, there's no point in putting new pads on this and trying to slap new rotors and everything else here. This still look pretty good. Just scuff it up real good, readjust it, and send the guy on his way. No need to take advantage of the customer. So we got him taken care of and got him knocked out and put out. And then there's another guy here. He's got a Caravan here, and it's running rough. And I noticed the long-term fuel trim was up around 11%. But when I was listening to the vehicle run, I could hear there was a little bit of an exhaust leak. And that exhaust leak has to be fixed because it's right in the flex pipe above the catalytic converter before the downstream sensor. So that's something that has to be addressed. And that's like an expensive fix. Just the job alone is probably somewhere around $1,100 because it's the catalytic converter and the flex pipe all in one unit. Plus the bolts and the gaskets. It's not a cheap fix. I hear you, Preston. Morning. Good morning, people. Good morning. I'm doing brakes on my 97 F-150. Any recommendations on a brand or rotors? I mean, I like Akebono. Morning. That's why you're going to do great. I appreciate that. I thank you guys for supporting me and not being one of these people on these sites that are talking trash behind my back and stuff like that. And it's hard enough to find people that you really can trust in, that you really know that they got your best interest in mind in this world. So when you can find a few good people that you got in your corner, I got a whole channel full. It is what it is. Damn trolls is right, man. But it happens, people. What I noticed though more than anything, people complain about not being able to do what they want, but they don't take the opportunity to set themselves up so they can do what they want. A lot of people complain about not being able to talk trash and stuff like that. Why? What were you doing that took that opportunity away from you? You were on somebody else's platform, running your mouth on their platform, and you got censored because you're not in control of that platform. Why won't you take the time to put out the information on your platform? that you do have an opportunity and you can control and you can get the video out there and the voice out there. I mean, I'm just saying, if I really wanted to voice that much and I really wanted to say bad things about somebody, I'd probably go make my own channel and start doing it. Man, yeah. I mean, I get a lot of stuff in here in the city all the time, man, from other like shade tree mechanics, alley mechanics and stuff, dealer mechanics and stuff. They dealer like small hole in the wall dealer. Appreciate that, Steven. I'm doing good. And they drop stuff off here all the time that they've worked on and screwed up themselves, or they've taken it to 2 or 3 other people and the other hacks have screwed it up. It just gets to a point where you have to start questioning whether or not, man, we should have everybody licensed to even work on a vehicle, because lately it's been so bad with people just blatantly not knowing what they're doing working on people's vehicles, and we give them the space and opportunity to do that with no restrictions. I get everybody wants to work on their stuff, but there's a lot of people doing dangerous stuff lately, and it's getting worse. And especially with more and more the migrants come here, more and more they try to fit in and they try to get jobs and stuff, and they try to take tools from people's garages and businesses and stuff like that so they can make money doing their little side hustle. It's worse, because a lot of them, or the majority of them, they just suck. They're doing brake jobs and doing repairs and stuff. I get them in here, and then the customer's like, well, I found this guy down the street, and he was like, you know, one of them Hispanic guys that newly came here, said he knew what he was talking about and he could do the job for like $500. The dealer wanted $2,000, and I trusted him, but then he screwed it up even more, and he didn't actually fix the car, and then he split on me and took my money, and then I never saw the guy again. I don't know nothing about him. I could barely understand him. And it's like, where the heck did you meet this guy at? Well, they stand outside of AutoZone and they ask if you need help, or they stand outside of Home Depot and they try to get jobs and stuff and flood the parking lot and everything. And I get it. I get it. But, you know, you pay for what you get. Unfortunately, you pay for what you get. And it sucks to have to say that to a customer, but you try to go cheap, and that's what you got. You got cheap. And what else can you do? Nothing. You gotta take it on the chin and roll with it and get it fixed. But now it's my job to fix the problem, unscrew his screw up, reset the customer so the customer's not so hostile with me because they've had a bad experience. And it's like, you know, it's not, now you're not just a mechanic anymore. Now you're kind of a therapist, getting somebody to rethink how they would trust you because of what just happened to them. Now, what are you gonna do? I don't know. I went an entire week in Vegas last week. No energy drinks, barely any coffee, and I came back and I had my Ghost Citrus Zero Sugar. Ooh, baby. It was almost like I got to hit a dope or something like that. Ooh. Well, I mean, if there's nothing else you guys directly want to talk about right now, we got a little bit more time. We can talk a little bit more, or we can cut it. We can make the shows an hour in the morning whenever we do them every once in a while, and we'll cut them at an hour. Or we can try to fit a few more questions in here because it is still early, and I don't have guys showing up until about 7:30. So it's up to you guys on what you want to do. Yeah. That's true. That's true, the ball mechanic. You know, because they've been done bad by somebody else. Now they think you're going to do the same thing to them, and then they want to watch you and stuff because they don't trust you, and it's rough, man. It is rough. Anti-gravity craft was in use. 1954 Jetsons were like the. Oh God, I remember the Jetsons. Watching all the time when I was a kid. The Jetsons, where was it? Freaking Power Rangers, Tom and Jerry, Roadrunner and the Tasmanian Devil and the Looney Tunes, and man, that was good old times, man. That was when I didn't have to worry about nothing. I mean, I had a rough life, don't get me wrong, but as a kid, you just think about what it would be like to be 10 years old in your parents' home again, all over again. I mean, for some people like me, it was, I think of a positive family and what the typical family would be like versus the family that I had. But, God, I love my life, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you look at life and you're like, this is going to be rough. And you just got to try to do the best you can to get through it. There's nobody else that's going to hold your hand, most of the time. There are some people that will hold your hand, for sure. And I'll do that for anybody. That's for sure. If somebody needs me to hold their hand, they need a hug, they need somebody to lean on or something like that, I'll definitely do it without a shadow of a doubt. But we were in a business seminar, a coaching class. And the instructor said, I think it was Cecil Maynard he said, was it Cecil? I think it was Cecil, the ASTE classes. And he said something to the extent of, when you learn something in life, I'm gonna just ask you guys this, be straight with you. When you've learned something in life, when were those moments? When did you learn the best or the most often? When did those moments happen? When you did what? And that's how you learned the right way to do it. What was the thing that you had to do most of the time and still to this day to learn exactly where to go and how to be next time and what to do? When it hurt? Absolutely when it hurt. When it hurt, or what's another word for when it hurt? You attempted to do something, but you screwed it up? Absolutely. 100%. There's another word I'm looking for. When it down and out? Absolutely. Something else that Cecil said that just really, when you take all those and you roll it up into one, you set out to do something and you tried to do it regardless if you were wrong or right, and you failed. Failure is the best teacher. Failed, yes. When you failed, that teaches you more than anything. So he said, why are you shop owners and previous technicians still holding on to that tech status and think that you have to go bail your guys out of every single situation when they're working on a customer's car? Sometimes that failed moment that they have is what teaches them the best on not to do that again. And you get in the middle of that, yeah, you might save $50 with that little stinking dinky control arm that he broke on the back of that Chrysler 300 when he was prying on it because it's made of some kind of aluminum pot metal stuff. But if you would have let him break that, which $50 would have came out of your business for sure, but that would have been the best teaching moment for that guy, especially knowing that you could get that arm and it's pretty available. That's the best teaching moment for that guy right there, to realize not to do that again. He failed at what he was doing. He learned from it. He ate $50 or the company ate $50 in the process, and that guy will learn next time, I can't be prying on that like that. I can't be pulling that part apart like that. Sometimes those lessons cut deep, and sometimes there's not somebody there to stop you from failing. So when you do fail, it's a really, really hard, expensive lesson learned. Sometimes it can be catastrophic, and there is no getting out of it. Once you fail and damage or break something, that's it. And it does hurt the business. But those are the moments that you got to be prepared for as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. You have to be ready for those. But you can't take every single failure and take it away from that tech or your employee and remove that learning experience from them, knowing that that's when you actually learn the most. You can't take every one of them away because they're not going to learn anything. How many times have you been told in your life, don't do that. I was once your age. It's going to hurt you. It's going to bite you. And what do? You turn around and you do it anyway. Why? Your granddad told you that. Your uncle told you that. Your dad told you that. An older family friend or something told you that, and you still did it anyway. And what do you do growing up when you look at your kids or other young people or people younger than you? You tell them the same thing. Hey, man, I wouldn't do that if I was you. That's going to hurt you or whatever. And what do? They do it anyway because they got to learn, right? And you telling them, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm warning you. It's going to hurt. We do it because we know we got to put that warning out there. It's built into us to try to stop other people from hurting themselves or failing. But sometimes that's exactly what they have to do to get where they need to be. And that's how we live our lives. That's how most humans live their lives. They learn best by failures in life. And that's facts. Sorry, I went off on a little tangent there. And, yeah, I guess it's just moments on the Ford Boss channel, the morning podcast that grab your coffee and be inspired. Mistakes are the best teaching sometimes. That's true. And, it's a learning experience. It is. It is. All right, on that note, I don't know what else we want to talk about here. If there's something else you guys would like to talk about, we can do it. If not, we can go ahead and we can call it a day. We're at that 1 hour mark, or we can continue talking. We got a little bit more time. Technically, the doors are open right now, but nobody's here. I don't got any employees to really do anything yet. Most of my employees don't show up until 7:30 anyway, and full swing of things won't be going on until like 8, 9 o'clock. So, I got to get back in the swing of things with, in Vegas, everybody smoked so much. Yeah, you want to talk about ammo? Okay, we can talk about ammo. What do you want to talk about? 5.56, 223, 9mm. You want to talk about some 7.62? You want to talk about some 30-aught, 30-30? You want to talk about some 308? What we got going on? You want to talk about we talk about these? We can talk about these. What do you want to talk about? .40 cal, 45, 22 LR. Grendel. Talk about some Grendel stuff. The straight liner, the Grendel rounds, the ones that reach out and touch you on a flat. Got your ass. We live, baby. Do you hunt? Deer season is I have. You got a wrench? You got a wrench. You had a wrench. You just didn't know it. You've had a wrench. It's not nothing new. I can't let my girlfriend go without a wrench. You guys know me and DS met through Aaron, and when I went up to do the Bill Brown Ford kind of meet up with Aaron's subscribers and stuff, and maybe a few guys that were subscribed to me, but I was a small fish back then. DS was there waiting with open arms. He said, I accept you as you are, you dumpling of a man, you. And he asked me to be his boyfriend, and we've been boyfriends ever since then. Just happen to be good boyfriends, like real good boy, like my motherfucking boyfriend. I was just kidding. He's not my boyfriend, but he's a good man. That's for sure. He's a good man. We talked about possibly selling feet pictures or something like that on here, and I told him I'd be his photographer. I'd maybe take some feet pictures and stuff for him, and we'd pop them up on like Feet Finder or something like that. And as long as he gave me like a few pictures every once in a while, and I don't really want the money. I just want a few custom pictures, that he signed, autograph with his like big old toe. Just take this marker and just sign it. I'd be okay. What's up, man? James Lee. Weirdos. Yeah, we are. We're a bunch of sickos, weirdos. Plus, you guys know I'm military, so it's nothing really gets. You say you see me and Michael together from JM3 Oil Filter Wrench. He's my boy. You talking about weirdo? Two military guys talking about some stuff that most people would really feel uncomfortable talking about. You talking about weirdos? We some weirdos. The most comfortable guy in his own skin I've ever met is football. Yeah, I'm not really I don't really have self-esteem problems. I don't have like body image problems or anything like that. Yeah, I do need to lose weight. Yeah, I have a gut that I need to get rid of. But it's not like one of those things where it's like, you're sorry this and that. You're gonna, you wanna, end your life or something. Because I'm like, it's just I'm me. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Most people, most men, they don't care about that stuff anyway. They want to know, they want to meet you, and they want to see the character. They want to feel the character of the person. They want to know if you're loyal to them, because that's somebody that they want to find and trust. Look at this, Cindy, narcissistic. Cindy is a comeback person on this channel that has been blocked and booted many, many times. So I've just got to the point where I just realized you can't get rid of Cindy. And then there was like another Miranda or something like that, and then there was another one. There's a few girls, like trolls on here that have girls' names that just keep coming back, and you block them, they come back with a different account. So I leave them alone. Whatever. I don't even really care anymore. Good job, Cindy. I'm your narcissistic person. I know you're a dude. And you're just like trying to be relevant with the little sexy pictures and stuff that you put up with the female legs and stockings and stuff like that. You really should stop being a coward, though. You should just show who you are. Tell who you are, instead of creating multiple accounts and continuing to come back. Why don't you come clean? Why don't you come here and meet me? Come say hi. You're your best friend forever. Come say hi. We'll have coffee together. We'll sit down and we'll talk about it. We'll even live stream the interview about how narcissistic I am. I'd love to do it for you. I mean, you could call in right now. Cindy, call in right now and tell me what you think about me. We'll put it all in the live stream so everybody can find out. Cindy, you're a dude. You put female pictures up. Cindy, you know the name of the business. Google it. Call right now and tell us how you really feel. And I'll answer the phone just like a radio show host. This is Fort Boss Me live at 7 a.m. Chicago. Tell me your concerns. You're right. No one can say anything bad about me, Cindy. Nobody can. Nobody can. Because it doesn't matter. I don't do stuff to screw people over. So if words are what make you mad, if calling names or something or whatever, from which I've pretty much kind of stopped getting, all fired up and stuff and doing that type of stuff. I've changed a lot about myself. If that's what makes you mad, then you're too thin-skinned and you need to grow up a little bit. You need to grow into the big boy body. Yeah, Cindy uses a lot of like the liberal type slogan stuff or whatever. Narcissistic, full of himself, blah blah blah, chauvinist, mansplaining. You're not blocked, Cindy. What's the issue with you? You're not blocked. Tell me that. Tell me why I didn't block you. Why didn't I block you versus all the other people I blocked? Come on. Yeah, misogynist, exactly. Chauvinist, all the other liberal stuff. Well, Cindy, you're still here. You're thin-skinned. because you're complaining about something. You're complaining about something that was said to you or done in some kind of way. So obviously it bothers you. That shows me you're thin-skinned. I mean, if it's just a me and you conversation, who cares? Yeah, Cindy's Cindy, loser. God bless you, Bowser. No, that's not it, Cindy. You've actually said some derogatory things. You were like, I remember the other day. I know exactly because I've been paying attention to that icon changing because you keep coming back in different accounts. And you were like all super supportive in one message. You said some like really nice stuff. And then the next message, you kind of said some nice stuff. And then like the third message down, you were like being a complete jerk. And I was like, whatever. I don't even care at this point. Say what you want to say. I give up. I can't block all the trolls. As long as they're talking about me and they got my name in their mouth, then taste those salty nuts. I hope you like it. You pronoun monster. Cindy, are you in an attack helicopter today? Are you Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory today? Or are you Roseanne today? I mean, Cindy, obviously everybody does care a little bit. People that say, oh, I don't care at all, 100%, they're lying. A little bit, when people say, oh, I really don't care, there's always a little bit that they do, but it's just how much are we talking about? Is it just the tip? Is it beyond the tip? Or is it half? I mean, it just all depends on how much. And, you know, the sad thing about it is I had somebody pop up here on the other day, and it might have been Cindy or something like that. This might be a female, you know, you never know. But anyway, I got to troll the trolls, right? So somebody on here said, you blocked my husband. Well, if your husband was being an idiot, then you have an idiot husband that's blocked. So now he's a blocked idiot husband. I mean, what do you want me to do? Certain keywords trigger certain people, right? Or certain algorithms or the moderators. If you say something that they don't like, they can block you. So if you were too belligerent or your husband was too belligerent, then obviously somebody's going to do something about it. So who cares if your husband was blocked? You're here. And maybe it's your husband that's commenting on your account right now. But I think it's kind of funny. So let the wife stay, but block the husband. That works for me too. That's kind of funny when the wife gets more playtime than the husband does. Oh God, you gotta troll the trolls. Cindy, go get your kids ready. They need to be taken care of. They are much more important than me. I can vouch for that 100%. You're wasting your time here right now. I would be focusing my time on my kids in the morning, not commenting on some Ford boss's YouTube channel, especially when you don't have anything to add to the channel. Wow. Can we get another troll? There's out of 47 people here. There's got to be more than one Cindy troll. There's got to be another one that wants more than just the tip. So maybe we can get that other one inserted in here so we can have some fun with that one too. Wouldn't be Chicago without the sirens and the police. Okay, well, 7:15. It is 7:15. And Cindy is done. So we move forward, and we say that was a great podcast. That was a great Good Morning show. Did you guys enjoy it at least a little bit? Did we get the blood flowing with a little bit of the gossip, a little bit of the drama for today? Were we interesting today? Is it better than what it normally is when we talk about stuff? We had some fun with Cindy. Maybe Cindy will come back later and talk to us and tell us how her husband's jealous that she's on the channel and he's not, and maybe we can just build this happy community. Oh yeah, ultra platinum is like the bomb. I appreciate you, Dave. I appreciate everybody. And again, this is just podcast morning show. People talk shit to us. We talk shit to them. And if we find out interesting facts about people talking about us behind our back, we have to address that sometimes. And sometimes just passing by, shooting, giving it some time, and then moving on is all the better. But anyhow, we are going to get off of here. We're going to get off here. We're going to call it quits for the day, and we will be back here tomorrow. I'll try to come early tomorrow, and maybe we'll have a good morning session tomorrow. Pull up the chairs, the coffee, and everything else. Keep the kiddos away if you can sense that something's coming on, which with me, you probably already know whether or not it's going to be a kid-friendly video or not. Most of the time it is. Sometimes it's not. Normally I can predict when that's going to happen, and I think normally you guys can kind of predict when that's going to happen. But I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for coming to this first episode of the Ford Boss Tech Talk, Chicago Tech Talk session today that we started at 6 a.m. Central Time. It is now 7:18. We've been going for, we've been a little bit after 6. We've been going for an hour and 15 minutes now. And I appreciate you guys. Hope the audio equipment is continuing to work. If you have any suggestions on what you would like me to upgrade or add to the channel, or what you'd like to see more of, please let me know and I'll make that adjustment. As always, take care, be blessed. See you. Have a great day.